Hello everybody and welcome to One Piece, which is, this is a game for the, One Piece franchise or series, whichever you want to call it. Anyway, I'm going to be starting a new game on hard mode. I'm not going to guarantee it's going to be a no-death run. We'll see what happens. Mostly because of Don Krieg. I really don't like that level. Seriously, the boss isn't really that difficult, but just getting to him is the hard part. Anyway, on hard mode, it actually takes about twice as many hits as it does in normal mode to kill everything, so yeah, it's going to be harder. Personally, I always find hard mode's actually easier than easy mode, or normal mode. Anyway, yeah. Now then, I'm going to explain the bounty system in this game once we complete this level. I'll see about doing as many secrets as I can. I doubt we'll be doing that many of them because, most of them you need things like the Gum Gum Spear to use. Which is pretty much a special attack where you jump up, hit down, hit your attack button, and actually, it's a pretty good attack because it gives you several seconds of invincibility frames. So when someone tries attacking you and you use it, you won't get hurt. Anyway, what I mean by using the Gum Gum Spear, you can't actually destroy this block I'm jumping on without it. And there's actually quite a few things like that in this game. Now then, by using the down and your attack button, you can use the Gum Gum Pistol, which is pretty much your ranged punch. Now then, it isn't very useful for things like this unless you want to toss them back. It's more useful for bosses because, bosses don't actually get tossed back. Meaning you can actually hit them multiple times with one Gum Gum Pistol attack. Now then, the rocket attack isn't exactly that useful in hard mode because, it isn't very useful in any mode because, you actually need a pole to use it. And unfortunately, poles are actually quite scarce. For the most part. Okay, you go up here to speak to Colby. Oh, by the way, this is the American version. So there will be slight differences with names. Such as Zoro isn't going to be Zoro, it's going to be Zolo. I don't know why they changed them, but close enough, I guess. I guess because it was a kid-friendly show, because Captain Smoker is Captain Chaser. Something like that. I'm pretty sure it's Captain Chaser, and he's the main boss on this game. Last one. Yeah, this goes up to the part where Luffy leaves where was that? Log Town? I think it was Log Town. Whichever one he escapes from Smoker from. Anyway, okay, now then, you have to speak to Kobe to do this, but you have to go all the way back in to fight Alvida. You don't have to do this, but I'm just mentioning it because, As I said, I'm trying to include all the secrets I can. Anyway, I would suggest only hitting her twice, because if you use a Gowling attack, she isn't going to be knocked back sometimes, and then she's probably going to hit you with that iron club, and you really don't want that on a hard mode, because it can do quite a bit of damage. Anyway, your special attacks, which you can only use when that bar on the bottom of the screen is filled. Well, at least circles are filled. One will allow you to do the bazooka attack, which is pretty much you run up. Well, I'm just going to demonstrate. But if you hit up and then A and B at the same time, you'll use the avalanche attack. Which is what I did to Alvida, which is the most damage dealing one in the game. However, it's not exactly practical. Main reason why I say that is because of the recovery time. Now then, what I mean by recovery time, as I said, I'll just demonstrate. I think you're actually invincible, but when you actually use the attack, well, either any special attack, but yeah, you can't actually fire when you're in that, use your attack button in that crouch position. And yes, you can actually hit things off screen, which is very helpful for if you just want to kill everything off screen. Because there are some games, there's quite a few games, especially one in particular I'm thinking of that does that, which is Legend of Zelda 2. Yeah, you can't actually hit things that are off the screen. You have to make sure they're on screen, otherwise, well, you got plenty of problems. Okay. Anyway, this is the bounty system. You actually get your bounty depending on how many characters you defeat. Alvida was 5 million, I think it was. The bounties don't actually correspond to the show, because I think what's there? Well, I don't know what it is, but I know you have like something around 50 million by the time you beat Don Krieg. Or maybe that was Arlong. Anyway, probably the most difficult thing in this level to watch out for, because you really don't have any defense for it at the moment, are the musketeers. You see, later you get the Gum Gum bazooka. Not bazooka, the balloon ability, which actually lets you bounce their bullets back at them. Which I know in the show, Luffy just sort of bounces them off his own body without using the balloon attack, but I guess. Now then, the most damage dealing normal attack you have is the, what do they call it on the show? The Gum Gum Bell, which is pretty much a headbutt. You have to watch the recovery time on that though, because it takes a little while for it to recover. Boy, I'm doing pretty bad. Oh well, that's alright. At least you get food every so often in crates. Okay, the main suggestion I would have if you're dealing with bullets you can't block is make sure you have special attack energy, because you'll be wanting to use the... Oh, yeah, I better do that. You'll be wanting to use your special attacks like the bazooka attack, so you don't actually get hit. Anyway, to use bombs like the one I picked up, you have to hold up and hit your attack button, which originally that would be the bell attack. But if you have a bomb, no matter what you do, it's gonna just throw the bomb if you do that. So be careful when you use it. And yes, spikes can actually hurt the enemy. Okay, that's an extra life. If there's even slightly forward from where the pole is, it pretty much means you ain't gonna actually hurt them. Anyway, if you don't have a key, which I'll explain how you get a key later, but because you can't really do it at this point, I would suggest going down at that particular area. Because if you saw the chest to the left, I'm pretty sure that you can see it. You can't actually open it without the key. Which I'm going to explain that later. Come to think of it, yeah, there's a chest. You can't actually grab the small chest for it until later. I think Syrup Village is when you can start picking them up. I think it's gotta be the second phase of Syrup Village though. Actually, if you get all the coins, you get to do... I think that's how that works. You get to do mini games. And if you beat most of the mini games, you can get extra stuff. Extra special items. Like what you get whenever you beat a mini boss or something like that. We got plenty of people here. Anyway, after you beat them, you just keep running to the right, and then you run into, how do you pronounce his name? Anyway, that first guy that runs up to you only has one hit. I really don't know why. Even on hard mode, he has one hit. Anyway, this is one of the very few bosses that you can do this to, but if there's a person that's like right on top of them, you can use a bazooka attack or an avalanche attack and essentially knock them into them and actually deal extra damage. Actually, come to think of it, I think Meppo and XM Morgan the only ones you can really do that to. I really can't think of any others anyway. Okay. Third part. XM Morgan. You just sort of wait for him to attack and then you jump up and before his attack and hit him. He's invincible when he's not recovering from an attack though. There we go. That dealt a lot of extra damage. Anyway, what I meant about the Gum Gum pistol is because, well, you see, apparently you can actually hit. This is true for all bosses that I can think of. I really can't think of any, but that don't. Anyway, if you use the pistol attack, it actually hits them up to 5 times, I think it was, which is very, very useful for dealing damage fast. Also, one hit from a pistol attack can actually charges about 2 bars on your special attack meter, which is very, very good. So, after you beat XM Morgan, you get Zolo. And 8 million. Now this is a bonus round. I'm gonna be ending every episode after the Battle Royale. That's what it's called. You can't actually go under. You can't actually drop down from above unless you're away from the center of the ship mass. You get extra lives depending on how much time it took for you to beat all of them. Okay, the next one is going to be Port Town. I am going to leave this episode here, so everybody have a good day.